Howdy, y'all.
Hi, guys.
It's Ryan.
And Angela.
From Fliz de Fur. No, really, we're from RNA Music, your favorite mom and pop music lesson studio and guitar shop. Deep in the heart of Russia.
Oh, let's not say that.
We're not. No. we're in Texas. Texas, not to be confused with the former Soviet Union.
Mm-hmm.
I do like this shirt. It's one of my favorite shirts. No?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, it's time for another episode of Ask RNA. Angela and I answer your questions. We're so excited. We're going to rock and roll through this, I promise. I know I always say that, but we're going to this time.
Are we
So
done?
Yes. Stay tuned for the questions.
Okay.
All right, welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Ask RNA. This is 268. Yes, 268. We've done a lot of these, answering questions. We are going to answer questions.
Here we go.
That's what we do every time. All right. If you want an RNA Music t-shirt, links down below to our Teespring store. Go get you one. We're neither one of us wearing one.
At the moment.
What are we doing? It's Friday night. Oh, what a night. We got to do stuff. Let's go. All right, first question. Stephen Sharp. Well, hashtag. I'm not good at this stuff. Hashtag stuff. Here's my question. Do you guys get stuck in certain areas or genres of music? I've been stuck in the 60s and 70s music. Been listening to Janis Joplin, Grateful Dead, The Doors. I can't get enough of it for some reason.
Yeah.
ESP Ltd has a lot of single humbucker guitars. Okay. Can you help answer your question? Do we get stuck in certain areas or genres of music?
Yes, I do.
What do you get stuck in? Miss Wylde?
I'm the same way with you. Like 60s and 70s, I'll get into like this kick of just reminiscing in Motown music and just like the R&B type sound back in the day. But yeah, I'll get stuck listening to that. I will put it on immediately whenever I am getting ready in the morning or when I'm cooking or just fiddling around the house. And yeah, I'll listen to that like on like loop, like just constantly.
On like Pandora or something.
Yeah, because I have quite a few channels, stations on Pandora. I'm not big on Spotify just yet. I do some, but for the most part, it's either Amazon Music or it's Pandora, and I'll put on like, the Temptations channel or the Al Green channel, or I have the Aretha Franklin channel, and it'll come up with everything, the Beatles channel, just all the fun, really great Marvin Gaye channel. But yeah, I love stuff like that. Earth, Wind and Fire, the Commodores, Lionel Richie, just like all kinds of stuff like that. I will get stuck because it makes me happy. It makes me think of my dad. And whenever I was a kid, every Saturday or Sunday after church, we would have these moments where my dad would put on the record player, and we would open up all the windows in the house, and my mom would get this mixing bowl that she had like for her cleaning, that like an old mixing bowl, and she would put hot water and some Murphy's oil soap and just like some cleaning liquid, and she would give us all like ripped up t-shirts, and we would go through the house and wipe the whiteboards and baseboards and clean everything, all the windowsills and everything. It sounds like what? But it was so much fun because we would stop and we would dance, and we'd hear Dad and Mom singing and dancing in the kitchen, and Dad would sing Al Green, and it was just so much fun. So I'll get in those kicks, especially when I'm in the kitchen. For some reason, I need to have on Al Green. I've done that. Like I'll just have it just playing on my phone while I'm making breakfast or even just cleaning the dishes or something like that. So yeah, that's what I do. But that's the era that I can actually get stuck in and just listen to all the time. Not really like 80s or 90s. I mean, sometimes 90s are fun to go back and listen to.
We did that the other day in the car. We pulled up a bunch of 90s.
Mid to late 90s. Like
late 90s. Yeah. It was late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Early 2000s.
Yeah, some Limp Bizkit and
You're not supposed to tell them what we're listening
What?
to.
It's just funny. I thought it was hilarious. I told my sisters. My sister Nicole had her birthday like a couple weeks ago, and we were at the house.
Guilty pleasures.
We were listening to like Toni Braxton and Janet Jackson and Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men and I'll Be Sure and just like all these people that were like, oh my gosh, remember this song? And like, oh gosh, I can't even
we
think
forget
of it.
things.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, I remember. And of course, YouTube is really great when it says, oh, you like this song? Here's like a few suggestions. And you'll see it on the bottom because we had it on the television. You'll see it on the bottom. We're like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this song. We used to love this song. I watched the music videos for it. And we knew the dance routines and the harmonies. And it was a lot of fun. But getting stuck in that era, like I like going back and listening to like 1 or 2, maybe 3 or 4 songs of it. But I don't like put it on and like have it play. But like classic rock, pop, I can have that playing like all day long. And even when I'm up here and I'm back there playing, I'll put on that on the speakers and just be in my room organizing music or something. I'll be listening to Aretha Franklin and Gladys Knight and stuff like that. So yeah. Do you get stuck in a genre?
No. I am stuck in a genre. I've been stuck in
I don't think he's ever left the genre.
I wouldn't call it stuck. I would call it thoroughly satisfied where I am.
Which is totally your personality.
Yeah. What's the saying? I was like, what's the saying about getting milk when you got a cow at home or something?
Yeah. Why go buy milk when you have a cow at home?
Like,
Yeah, something like that.
I don't need to leave. I don't need to leave Rockland.
Which refers to like adultery, but you know.
I don't
what
know.
it's referring
Is that
to.
what it means?
Yes.
I thought it was about butter.
No.
I
It's
don't.
about paying for it.
Yeah. I get stuck on like artists. Like I'll go through phases where I'll discover a new artist or whatever, or even know.
But it's still in the same genre that you listen to.
What you talking about? What you say to me?
Mm.
Maybe a little bit.
Mm.
It's all rock all the time.
It is.
I like the rock and roll.
That's okay.
Now
That's
I
okay.
do appreciate other. You know, someone was saying today, a guy and his son came in today. You know, older son, not like a 10-year-old, but and it was like, oh, they'd never been in the store before, but I guess they saw some videos or something. There was a guitar store. They came in. They saw that we had Schecters. Like, they thought this guy must be a rocker. Who else carries Schecters in their store? So came in, we're talking, and he's like, so what kind of music do you like? Okay, what do you play? He's like, mostly a rock guy. He's like, okay, I thought so. Yeah, he's more of a country guy, but his son, he's probably like 20, was like a rocker guy. You know,
You can tell.
yeah. Now this guy who liked country also loves Zakk Wylde. And he's like, of course, we have a poster of Zakk on the wall. They're like, oh yeah, I mean, they were all excited. You know?
They were digging it.
They were, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a rocker. I have learned some George Strait songs.
I've heard
And
you
I've
telling him that.
learned
I was
some
in
Texas
the
country.
lesson whenever he was talking to him.
Yeah, I mean, I've played all kinds of things. I was in jazz band in high school and college. Played a lot of jazz music, a lot of swing stuff, a lot of Latin stuff. Like I've played all kinds of stuff, and I appreciate all of it. That's good.
I agree. I do too.
And I'll get on a kick where I'll go through my moments where I revisit my favorite classical music stuff. And I can listen to Beethoven like all day, just like put on a whole thing and listen to everything he's ever done. I'm like, it's my guy.
Right.
You know, but mostly for personal like enjoyment, I keep getting stuck in rock stuff. Now it's discovering new rock stuff sometimes. You know, but not particular eras, even though it seems like music peaked in the 90s. 90s and maybe 2000s. Late 80s.
I think it's just coming back around with just different flares. Because I was listening to
I do like me some Led Zeppelin.
Somebody's making it. People are making an understandably big deal about Cardi B's song "WAP." It is vulgar.
I don't know anything about it.
Horrible, vulgar. I've never listened to it, but I've read enough commentary about it that everybody's like, "Holy mess, this is nasty." But there were songs
They're
in the
90s. They're all Googling.
I'm sure a lot of them already know about it.
They're probably
because
more on top of it
TikTok made like they are doing like little kids are doing dance routines to this song, and they're like, what parent in their right mind would allow their child to listen to this? And anyways, but I kind of remember songs in the 90s
Oh, there's some raunchy
that
stuff.
were just as vulgar, that were pretty raunchy. I mean, even some Missy Elliott songs were like nasty. There's a couple of Janet Jackson songs that were nasty, believe it or not.
It's Miss Jackson.
Yeah, and she was nasty, so I don't think she gets
Nasty
the Miss
voice.
Jackson because she was nasty herself. I believe that kind of stuff, it just comes around in a different package, but it's pretty much like the same thing, like over and over again. I mean, Marvin Gaye, for goodness sake, sang "Let's Get It On,"
What's he talking about?
and Barry White sang, you know, basically all of Barry White's songs were about sex, you know. So, you know, I think that people, when it comes to genres and eras of songs, I don't think necessarily it peaks. It just changes packages, basically.
That's right. All right, thanks for the question, Stephen. Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. The other half is extreme violence. Next question, Brian Strauser. Have you ever tried the Twix Ice Cream bars? Because we talked about this last week.
What would we do for Klondike?
Yeah. Well, I think we said this last week. We actually did talk, because we mentioned that we prefer the Snickers ice cream bars. And I did say, is like, I've had the Twix ice cream bars.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, they taste
about the same.
It's almost the same. The Twix ice cream bar is almost
the caramel.
It's almost the same as the Snickers ice cream bar, which is really good. By the way, they're fantastic. We still have 5 Klondikes left.
Yes, we have not eaten any of them. And
we bought 6 of them in a package last week.
They don't even know, because we kept it in like the bag it was bought in and put it in the freezer.
And hid it.
And if it's not like blatantly out in the open, then they're not going to notice it.
We should have some tonight. How many calories you got left?
I have 400 calories left.
I think I have 300 calories left.
So that is a Klondike bar. Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, we have.
Take it back. 300. I have 300.
Oh, I think I have like 350.
Okay. Then still, we could still have like 100 calories.
So we have tried it. We got plenty. I should probably work out though.
I
need to lift some weights anyways.
Do some workout and maybe burn half of that.
Second question from Brian. I didn't even notice that when I typed them out. Brian, Brian Strauser says, what are some important trends in the musical instrument industry in your opinion? Are there any current companies who have damaged their value too severely to recover from extinction? Hashtag woo woo. Okay. Some important trends in the musical instrument industry, in my opinion. I'm trying to think if there's.
I wouldn't even know. This is not an Angela question.
I don't even know what the trends are right now. Like, you mean like,
I don't understand.
Like headless guitars are now a thing. Everybody's obsessed with Strandbergs. Like, that was a thing, but that's kind of.
Is it like pickups and like neck width, girth?
Yeah.
Like
trends in the music industry. Instrument industry.
I don't know.
You know,
I'm just making stuff up now.
There's always things cycling around with colors
String dilation.
And stuff. Like the big thing right now is the what are we talking about? That like new Schecter guitar, a burl, like burl top guitars. Have it not burl Ives. Burl Ives is making a comeback. You know, the burl top guitars is it kind of feels like it's having a bit of a resurgence right now. You know, one company comes out and does something and everybody goes like, oh man, that's cool. I haven't seen that in 40 years. And then, everybody wants it. Yeah.
Different package.
And then all the other companies are like, oh, we're going to come out with that. What happens is the small builders will come out with something like that. It's super cool. And then it'll gain popularity on the internet. And then the bigger companies are like, oh, we can make that too. You know, 18 months later after people are super hype about it. Because it takes them a long time to go, oh, let's do that in production and overseas and gear up the factories and all that.
Right.
That's the one I guess I've noticed lately, and that appeals to me anyway, is like the burl tops, which I kind of think is cool. It's been a thing now for not like the last 3 months, but it's been a thing, and it seems like more and more companies are starting to jump on it. You know, the walnut layered Paduke necks, you know, having interesting 5, 6, 7, 8 piece necks with different, you know, wood materials, but that's kind of been a thing for a while too.
Right.
So I don't know if there's what the current cracking thing is right now, other than I think everybody's super excited about the Spark amp, about Positive Grid. That seems to be a big thing at the moment that I have not been paying attention to at all. I actually haven't been online very much lately.
Yeah.
The last several weeks, like I've fallen down on my Instagram.
I don't know anything that's happening right now in the world today, like at all.
Other than Corona.
But even then, I don't really know what's actually
it's kind of
happening
drying up.
with
People
Corona.
get tired of that.
Yeah.
I've been falling down lately on my online stuff. I haven't been on Facebook.
True.
I haven't been on Facebook a whole lot lately.
I'm not falling down on it. You've just pulled away from it because there's other things to be doing.
Yeah, I guess so. And even like, I'll try to get on Instagram and look and see what's going on. But even like
it's just exhausting.
Well, and even YouTube. Like I caught a little bit today of Phil McKnight's live stream. He does a live FAQ thing once a week on Fridays. And normally I can't watch it because I'm teaching lessons. Yeah. Today I had 2 students because it's Labor Day. Labor Day Memorial
weekend.
Labor Day. Mm-hmm. It's Labor Day weekend, so people are going on vacation in the United States. So I had 2 students who were out today for vacation, and so I had a moment. I'm like, well, let me flip on YouTube.
I had a moment.
I was like, oh, Phil. I normally don't catch his live stuff, so
right.
So I was watching him talk about current trends. But, you know, nothing jumps out at me as far as the current trends that are important. So are there any current companies who have damaged their value too severely to recover from extinction? Bernie Rico guitars. Most people aren't gonna know who that is. But he had a thing, small builder. His dad started BC Rich, and back in the day, like in the mid 2000s, he was kicking out some crazy awesome custom shop guitars. And then things went sideways. Like he got sick, and then they had all these orders, and then they couldn't fulfill them, and didn't refund people's money. And like, I think they're done. Like, you know, I mean, and they were like USA. But it's kind of one of those things that happens if you're a smaller business. And someone talked about that the other day. It's like, if we had 1,000 people want to sign up for lessons tomorrow, like one-on-one in-person lessons, like we couldn't do it. And if we tried to do it, like, I'll take your money, we'll figure it out, we'll just work 24 hours a day. You can't maintain that. You might try it, but you're gonna burn out.
I don't even know what that would even look like hours wise. How long? Like 1,000 students.
That's 500 hours. How many hours are there in a week? There's not 500 in a week.
7 times 24.
Okay, well, you know, math. Don't make me math right now.
The things we do for math. What?
Right. So,
yeah.
You know, we couldn't do it. So imagine being a manufacturer, like, oh, sweet, we got, we're getting orders in. And if you're a small bit like CMG's small builder, I mean, they only build like 100-ish guitars a year. Acacia, small builders, like 2, 3, 4 guys. You know, if someone says tomorrow, like, hey, we want 1,000 guitars, can you build them? They're like, no. Either no, we can't do it, you just gotta wait, or like, okay, we'll take the order, and then like, no, we gotta hire stuff. Let's hire like 10 more people. Let's buy a bunch of machines because we gotta fulfill this order. And then something happens, and you can't. Half the orders are canceled. Crazy stuff. So that was one I just thought about because I saw my man Eric McKenna post something about that the other day because he was a Bernie Rico dealer. Shortly before Bernie Rico stopped doing dealers, just doing direct only. And he said, yeah, things went way sideways after that. But all the ones that they had sold were phenomenal made guitars, So as far as big name companies, I can't think of any bigger companies, Gibson, Fender, PRS, Schecter, Washburn, that kind of stuff who just, I was about to say screwed the pooch. I was like, wait, that's not what I was trying to think. Like, just jumped the shark. But that was what I was thinking of. So, not off the top of my head.
We would only fit 336 lessons in. 7 days, 24 hours.
If we taught 24 hours a day. Yeah. There's a limit to what you can humanly do. There's a limit to what we can humanly do.
Possibly. Unless you did like just a bunch of group classes.
You could do that. That is a thing.
If it wasn't one-on-one. If it's one-on-one. Just FYI.
That is a valid thing. We don't normally do group classes here. A lot of places do that. They do that. That is a thing. I have friends with music schools all over the world. Guitar, drums, bass. And group lessons are a valid thing. I haven't. I don't like that.
Yeah.
We've not really implemented. We'll do like group sessions, group like workshop things here, but not necessarily bigger classes. Because you always have people who learn faster, people who learn slower, people who learn kind of in the middle. And it never fails. You're going to have people on those different spectrums.
Yes.
Somebody's going to get left behind, or somebody's going to be bored.
Exactly.
That's how I feel about it. And it's a lot of work to tailor it to where everyone is engaged, you know, and where I feel like if you have that one-on-one attention, it's even better. So
yeah.
But there you go. Yeah, I can't think of anyone because I think they're gone. If they've damaged themselves so bad that they're gone, and we're not thinking about them. So I can't think of.
It doesn't pop through your brain.
There's a couple I don't want to talk about, but
yeah.
It's not worth talking
It's just
about.
not nice.
It's not worth talking about. Because you never know. They might turn a corner and be like, oh, well, look. Ron said they were crap, and now they're the biggest thing ever. What does he know?
Right.
You know, so it's like.
That's always how it works.
Yeah. The market decides.
Yes.
The market always decides.
Truth.
All right. Thanks for the questions, Brian. Next question. Tech Fanatic. I love how you spelled that. Hashtag woo woo. So you recently just got that Zakk Wylde Epiphone with EMG HZ pickups. How do they compare to regular active EMG pickups, and what passive pickup would compare to the passive EMGs? Oh man, okay. So yes, I did just get, oh, you have it over there.
I do, you gave it to me.
I did, I gave it to you.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah,
okay.
Everybody wants to see it. They all want to see it. Oh, look at there. I brought that out because I brought this one out too. This is my ESP LTD. So excited. I'll probably do a shootout video with those pickups between these two guitars because yes, this is an Epiphone, this is an LTD, but they're essentially the same guitar in a lot of ways. Oh, look, Jesus, save me. Oh.
I wasn't even like let go of it.
It's in my peripheral vision. I wasn't watching right at you. They're both mahogany bodies, maple necks, maple fretboards, you know, scale length is the same. This is essentially, you know, ESP's version of a Les Paul custom from the 70s. This Epiphone Zakk Wylde is basically their copy of a 70s Les Paul custom. I mean, in a lot of ways, and they're both made in Korea. Crap, they might have been made in the same factory. Even, you know.
Sure might have.
Could have been. Could have been. But
oh, 5.
the Zakk Wylde, this is a 13. It's a 13. This has active EMGs. I think it's the headset. I have the headset in here. Yes, this has the EMG headset in it. And of course, that has the EMG passive H4, H4A, and H4. So I will probably use these two to kind of shoot out the difference. Like, hey, this is the passive EMGs compared to active EMGs. Granted, this is the headset, and the headset actives are more passive-like in character. More passive-like in character. But I will probably do a shootout sound sample thing for you guys so you can kind of check that out. The EMG passives get a lot of hate. People are like, this sucks, why would you get these? And it's like, okay, you know, but I think setting the proper expectations. They are a bit different than the active EMGs, but I've played that for 2 weeks, 2 weeks now, I think. And I've been playing it quite a bit. And my initial thought was like, I'll probably drop an 81, 85 in there because that's what Zakk actually uses, you know, and to do all that. But so far, I've actually been surprisingly pleased with the passive EMGs. I think they sound pretty good.
Yeah.
And in a way, this particular set, it really kind of does sound like an 81 and an 85, in my opinion. They're probably pretty close to an 81, 85 that's not powered. I like them. The bridge on this reminds me of an 81 a lot, and then the neck kind of reminds me of actually of a 60, probably a little bit more than an 85. But I think they actually sound pretty good, And if you watch the unboxing video of that guitar, there were some clean sound samples and dirty dirts that upon listening back to it when I was editing the video, I was like, that sounds pretty good. Dang. So I might not change it. I may leave it the way it is just for like to keep it stock. You know, even though that's not exactly what Zakk played, but you know. Now what do they remind me of? That's tough. The bridge reminds me a little bit of a dime bucker in a way, because a dime bucker kind of has a real thin sound to it, and it doesn't really shine until you hit it with a lot of overdrive and distortion. Yeah. And kind of the same thing. That's where the bridge pickup on this one really takes off, is on the dirty dirts. So, but yeah, stay tuned. Probably, who knows when, in the near future, I will shoot out those two guitars and give you some sound samples, because I think they're going to be the closest ones to give you an idea as far as body woods and all the other things that would affect the tone. I think that would be a fair comparison. So stay tuned, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, hit the little bell down there. You'll get notified of all our videos, so that when that video pops up, you will definitely be notified, and you'll see it. I'll be holding both guitars in the thumbnail or whatever. But great question, Tech Fanatic. Appreciate it, man. Next question, Jim Grew. Would you or have you purchased a new guitar online? I have purchased used guitars online with varying success. I too wish Klondike bars would not melt so fast. Hashtag KTMA. P.S. Did get any of that hurricane in Canton? Hope you are all safe and sound. All right, thanks, Jim. Yes, there was a hurricane that slammed into Texas and Louisiana. I did get a couple of messages from some of you guys on Facebook.
Laura, was it Laura?
I guess it was. Hurricane Laura. Laura. Lori. Doing stuff, Lori.
Stuff and things.
Stuff, things.
It's John, Texas.
I've got stuff. I'm doing stuff. Things. Stuff. I've been doing stuff. I've got things. Stuff.
Is there anything I can help you with?
No. Why are you here?
Get out! Get out!
I'm waiting.
For what?
Stuff.
So we're far enough north, like we're closer to Dallas, and for you guys who are not from here, Texas or America even, Texas is huge. Like, we're not playing around when we say it's really big.
Right.
It's really freaking huge. So now down closer to Houston, they got hammered pretty hard. We had friends that had to evacuate from south of the Houston area, which the hurricane came right up in, and it's a long ways. Like, we barely got any rain. We just got some rain like this last couple of days, but nothing crazy, because we're pretty far north.
I was there. I was Googling the states that you could fit inside of Texas, and the first image is the United States of America.
You should send me that. I'll put that on the screen so they can see.
That is hilarious. But it actually has actual countries that you can fit inside of the Texas border.
So inside of Texas, you could fit the Netherlands, Slovenia, Switzerland, Austria, Slovakia, Macedonia, Hungary, Lux, Slovakia,
Czech Republic,
and Belgium could all fit within inside of Texas.
Yeah.
So we're quite, I mean, how many miles are we from the coast? I mean, it's how many hours to Houston from here?
Quite a bit. I mean,
4?
Yeah, we're about 4 hours from the northern part of Houston.
Yeah. So,
and maybe another hour.
Yeah, so we're about five and a half hour drive from the coast of Texas.
Yeah.
Where we
2,
are.
3, 4, 5.
So drive at 70 miles an hour for 5 hours.
14, 50. You could fit 15 American states inside of Texas.
Yeah, and one of them is Alaska.
No, but sure.
You could fit 3 Alaskas.
I didn't realize Pennsylvania was so big.
It's pretty big.
Which one's it? It's as big as South Carolina.
What's that one? Is that Idaho?
Yeah.
Idaho is about the size of our panhandle.
Yeah. So,
no, we're good. We're
Yeah.
fine. We're up here. We hardly ever get anything when a hurricane season. Hurricanes come in, hit Texas. Our friends down on the coast of Texas, yes, they have problems. If you're in Houston, even Houston, it's not as far north inland as you would think. It's really close to the bay.
Right. I'm sending that to you right now.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So we're good.
It was like,
Now, when it's tornado season, that's when you need to check on us. Because
Yes.
tornadoes, just like right through north.
oh,
Angela, you text bombed.
I wasn't expecting your ringer to be on, dude.
There might be emergencies.
But your phone's sitting right in front of you. Silly man.
It says a timer, so I know how long we're talking.
Okay.
Yammering, so Denny won't get upset if we go too long. So the real problem for us up here, up around these parts,
Up in her.
up in here is
Yeah.
tornadoes. Tornadoes is the real problem that we have where we're at.
Twisters.
But I think we're done with that until maybe Christmas time.
Because we did.
We have had Christmas tornadoes.
Like Christmas Day.
Christmas Day tornadoes. That's like,
Yeah.
we're all hiding in the hallway. Woo, sirens going off outside. We're like,
Because, whenever the warm pressure air and the cold pressure air meets, and usually it meets around the United States belly button, which is like East Texas, Oklahoma, the tops of
Abs.
Alabama, the abs, of America, that's where all the tornadoes hit. Because that's where the cold air and
because
the
it'll be
warm
74 degrees on Christmas Day, and then the next day is 40 degrees.
air, and it'll still be raining.
Massive
so
change.
it's also a rainy type season. So
So I kind of answered his last question first. This is,
yeah.
would you or have you purchased a new guitar online? I can neither confirm nor deny that I've purchased guitars online. Yes, absolutely. I have purchased, actually,
Was it new?
this was new.
Okay.
This was actually a brand new guitar I purchased new. Yes. I have purchased several guitars online. I don't like the way this conversation's going.
Yeah, I know. We need to wrap this up before
yeah.
Mama gets angry.
Yes.
The answer is yes. Moving on. Next question.
In the last 10 years, I think I have bought 3 new ones online and a couple of used. So yeah, I have. Trying to think if I ever had any problems with any of them. Now, I'm probably a little bit different because I get guitars shipped here, all the time. Like, we have guitars from manufacturers. We've had a truckload of guitars from Washburn and Schecter and Vola and Acacia and CMG and other companies. We've, I don't know how many guitars. Tajima, I don't know how many guitars I've had shipped here in the 10 years we've been here. And they come through the mail just like when you buy a guitar online. When you buy a guitar online, it's like, where do you think the store you got it from got it? Like, they didn't manufacture it on site at Sweetwater or at Guitar Center. I mean, somebody shipped it in, So I have. I don't think I've ever had to return one. No. So, but I mean, for stuff that I'm not a dealer for, like there's guitars that I'm a dealer for, obviously, like we have 2 CMGs, and we're CMG dealers, so those kind of a different story.
Right.
But I'm used to guitars showing up in the mail, large quantities, large dollar amounts of guitars showing up. I have had a few things come in damaged before, but
Right, depending on the mail system to
Yeah.
deliver inventory. So
right. So I have purchased online. And this probably is going to go, I think, if you stay tuned to the last question today from Fat Philosopher, I think he has a question about necks and things that'll kind of relate to this one. But, you're talking about buying a guitar without playing it first. And like, am I going to like it? Am I not going to like it? I have several different guitars, and they're all, I was going to say different. And somebody's going to make fun of me. He's like, I think they're all black. I think they're all the same shape. And like, they're all similar, but different neck profiles, things like that. So I'm not too worried about if I get it in, if the neck going to be this or that. Because I guess at a certain point, you're like, I just don't want 15 of the exact same guitar. Or do I? But, you know, the difference is none of them are unplayable. I guess I'll put it that way. So, anyways, yes, I would. Yes, I have. New and used. I'm never too worried about it. I just got one, the Camo one there. Why would you not buy one online? I think that would be the question for you guys and girls. Why would you not? What's holding you back from buying one online? What is your major concern about buying something online, sight unseen? Let us know what that is. All right. Thank you for the question, Jim. Next question, Bubba Fang. Thank you both for answering. Now the other side of the coin. Question: what rock musicians would make great superheroes? We were all legends. So last week, Bubba Fang asked us what movie characters would we want to see in a rock band. Now it's what real life rock musicians would make great superheroes.
Oh,
well, Zakk Wylde.
Yeah, I could see that.
I could see Zakk Wylde doing like a Thor kind of thing because he's, you know, his big beard, muscles, like larger than life kind of attitude. I could see Zakk as a superhero. Who else?
Because I'm trying to think of like strong
personalities.
You know, could be able to, I mean, I'm sure quite a few could be X-Men.
John Petrucci?
Yes.
John Petrucci, he's actually super jacked now. He used to be skinny.
Yeah, he'd be a villain.
I don't know. I think he'd be, you know, I think there's an argument to be made for a lot of super villains.
Yeah.
I could see a lot of super villains.
All the rock guys could be villains. They could.
Well.
That dark, edgy.
Emo. Yeah. All the guys in Avenged Sevenfold are villains. Lars is the evil
with
mastermind.
Villains nowadays, it's like it's almost a cool thing to be a villain because they have the better powers, they have the better.
It's like Loki.
You know, exactly.
Loki is super cool as a bad guy.
Yes, John Petrucci could be Loki.
He'd be a good guy.
I don't know. That's hard to think the switch around because you have to think of like their body types, their personalities. And I don't really know a lot of them as personalities would actually make good superheroes. Maybe like damsels in distress.
Oh, princesses in their ivory towers
Who would make the best Disney princess?
Zakk Wylde.
Zakk Wylde. Again, Zakk Wylde.
Every
Lars. He would make the best Disney princess.
James would be a superhero. We're going to call it.
Yeah.
He'd be like the Batman, I think.
I knew you were going to say that.
What? He'd be Batman? Why?
Because I just...
Black Album.
And immediately I was like, he's going to say Batman. And you said, he could be Batman. I was like,
Yeah.
I
see Zakk as more like a Superman or a Thor kind of character. James would be more like the super rich guy who's smarter than everyone else.
Yeah.
He knows all of their weaknesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be great.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix could be like a wizard. Are we talking live or dead?
Yeah, I think anybody.
Any of them?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Janis Joplin could be like Siren.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it?
Like Black Canary. Or...
Black Canary. Yeah. That's what I was trying to think of. Songbird or Banshee from the X-Men.
I don't know anybody in the music industry that could pull off Wonder Woman. Like nobody.
John Petrucci. Zakk Wylde. Zakk Wylde is Wonder Woman. Zakk Wylde is Captain America. Yeah. All right. I don't know. That's a great question.
That's a really good
fun.
question, though.
Thank you. I needed to laugh after some of the other questions. Thank you, Bubba. Next question. Denny's plant-based journey. #woo woo. Question, what is your favorite software for playing guitar and recording in the computer? Do you go through an amp and then in the computer just have some type of interface, or just use the amp and camera mic? I've been wanting to try software, but I don't want to break the bank, nor do I want to buy something that is not going to be easy to use, that won't sound great. Suggestions. All right, Denny, thank you. Great questions. I use, of course, I have a Mac. So I have a MacBook Pro that I've had since...
I'm yawning. Sorry.
Technical questions give you the sleepies.
No,
Sleepy
just
sleeps.
the time.
It's 8:30 on a Friday night, and this is what we're doing for you guys. I have a MacBook that I bought like in 2014 that I use, and of course the Macs all come with GarageBand. And GarageBand is super easy to use and very intuitive. We've been using that for even longer than that, because Bitter Bassman has had GarageBand on his Mac that's even older than mine.
Yeah, forever.
And we've written a lot of stuff in his GarageBand, which is super easy to use. And over the years, it's gotten better and better and better and better. It's kind of the free software that comes with the Mac, even though Macs are kind of expensive, so none of it's free. You paid for that GarageBand in there. But GarageBand is just a stripped down, kind of handicapped Logic, which Logic Pro is a great recording software. GarageBand is Logic. It's the same thing. It's just Logic without all the options. So a lot of people kind of poo-poo on GarageBand, like, oh, it's a kiddie thing. It's like, it's not. It's freaking Logic with just some of the options disabled. So GarageBand is super intuitive to use, and if you get comfortable with it, which we have done, it's like now I actually have Logic on my laptop. I broke down finally and purchased Logic because I thought, well, you know what, I might need to take advantage of all these other extra options. And a lot of my buddies who do YouTube stuff, a lot of them use Logic for recording their stuff. You can record an album on it. But honestly, I just keep coming back to GarageBand. Now I'll do a session in GarageBand, and then I can open that session in Logic, and it takes it and creates a Logic session out of it. So if I want it quick and easy, I'll just do it in GarageBand and then import it into Logic if I want to get more in depth with it. I think it works great. Most of the time, for quick and dirty stuff, if I just have an idea I want to get down, I do have an interface. You do need to have an interface of some kind. I've got a PreSonus, like little 2-input interface. Plug right into that. There's built-in guitar sounds in GarageBand and Logic. So you can just plug your guitar directly into your interface and play and capture some ideas. I'll usually do that for writing purposes. And then when I get ready to okay, now we're gonna do this for real, then I will play it through, the Mesa Boogie or an amp, and I will actually mic up the amp and the microphone. Of course, the signal's going to the mic going into GarageBand or Logic. So if I want to get serious, like the final session, I'll do it with real amps. But for writing, just to get it down real quick, I'll use the software stuff. That one's pretty easy to use. Trying to think of what you might use if you're not a Mac guy. There is Reaper, which is a good one for PC. And I actually have a student right now who we're going through. I'm showing her how to record stuff and write things and kind of some music production stuff. Kaylin, link in the description, because we're on a schedule. She has to put out a new song every 3 weeks. Most of it's electronica, like ambient background music, to do yoga to, or to chill out and relax or whatever. Put a link to her newest one down below. You guys can go check that out. She's doing it all in Reaper, actually. And it's all right. I find it not as intuitive as Logic. All the recording softwares, they all do the same stuff. It's just the layouts are different, and where the buttons are is different, and how you do certain tasks is different. But that's a great one that's free. You can do a trial version of it forever if you want to, and they don't handicap it. They don't the trial version isn't disabled. It's fully functional, and they're just hoping you buy it for $60 or $70, which is not expensive. So that one's a good one to get started with. I find it to be more difficult to use than GarageBand or Logic. But if you're not a Mac guy, what are you gonna do? There's several. PreSonus actually has one. I think it's called Studio One. Like if you buy a PreSonus interface or you buy a Scarlett interface, a lot of them will come with their own software. Like I think you get Studio One if you buy a PreSonus interface, which you can get one for $150, something like that. A lot of them will come with some recording software. So check that out. I need to get a new one. My interface is kind of super old now, so it's like it's working, but it's like, oh man, it is built like a tank, which is one thing I will say about the PreSonus stuff, and that's why I bought it, because my other ones had a plastic interface that was for friggin' Pro Tools, which is sort of the industry standard thing, but their interface was proprietary at the time, and it was crap. It fell off something and broke. I was like,
I remember that.
That sucks. And I couldn't use any other interface for the Pro Tools at that time. I know you can do that now. So I bought the PreSonus one because you could drive it with your car. And it still works. So, anyways, I hope that answered your questions, Denny. If you have any other questions, of course, just shoot me a message or an email. I'll try to help you out as much as I can. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. We're trying to keep this short for you. Just for you. Not for me, so I don't have to edit. For you. Next question. Just Fun Guitar. Hashtag woo woo. Thanks. New question. Which instruments will be the most popular in the coming decades? What do you think?
Sousaphone.
Sousaphone.
Saxophone. Guitar.
Yeah, I mean, guitar's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I think guitar. I have a feeling that piano/keyboards are coming back.
You're going to say, I was like, you're going to say piano.
Yeah. I have a feeling. Because you had like those seasons where
everything comes in waves.
The back, where you think about it like back where, oh my gosh, I can't believe I had it in my head because I was going to list them off, and now I just completely forgot. Great Balls of Fire.
Jerry Lee Lewis,
thank you. Like you had that kind of era. Of course, you go back to like the big bands and swing and all.
Well, you could go back to,
I know, but I'm talking about like poppy, like nowadays where everybody can actually play it type stuff.
Right.
And you go back to the big band guys who were leading those with the piano, and then kind of faded off and the guitar people and solo singers, boy band type stuff came back. And then you had, Jerry Lee Lewis popped up with this rock and music. And then it kind of went away for like a little bit of part of a decade. And then you had like Elton John jumped in, and then like,
what's his face?
Kind of,
jerk face guy.
Yeah. Well, Billy Joel. The
son of a.
but he, but it was like at the end of the 60s, early 70s, you had Elton John.
Yeah.
And then it kind of faded out just a little bit. I mean, not completely, because a lot of 70s music was piano driven. And then towards the end of the 70s, early 80s, Billy Joel just kind of took off. Yeah. And then it's like at the end and beginnings of each decade, it seems like you have this person that starts to come up that is a piano-driven person. You had Alicia Keys. You had, just like all these different people that, and I think it's time, like at this edge where you're at the beginning of another decade, I think that piano/keyboardist are going to start. There's going to be that one person that's like, what? Not just that they do, because there's many, like, Josh Groban plays the piano. There's many people that actually play the piano.
The kind of like jazz guy, but he's been in movies. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, Harry Connick?
Harry Connick, yeah. Plays piano.
Oh, that was like 90s.
Yeah.
Again, So at the end and beginning of each decade.
Zakk Wylde plays the piano.
I'm sure he does.
He does. At a concert. He'll go there, he'll play, because he's like.
Yeah, because
he loves Elton John.
Whenever. Who doesn't, honestly?
Me.
You like Elton John. Everybody likes Elton John. Even people who say they don't like Elton John.
He's all right.
When Benny and the Jets comes up, you sing it.
I don't. I don't even know that song. I'm agree with you.
Yeah.
I was like, I think, because we have piano students.
Yeah.
We have people who come to us for piano lessons, young kids. Now, that's always been a thing since the beginning of time.
Oh, yeah.
Since the beginning of piano, when people could have them.
Piano's been taught.
Yeah.
You can watch old movies, and that's one of the things that they ask women, what is your talent? What do you do? Do you draw? Do you learn languages? Do you know the pianoforte?
Yeah.
You know, like it was just all a part of being
It's a thing.
educated is knowing piano.
Educated people can play music. Play an instrument.
Yes, some kind of instrument, but I
Yes.
believe it's the piano.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't died.
No,
Like, and guitar's not going anywhere. It's like electronic music kill guitar. It's
but it's not
guitar
like
players kill guitar.
someone just playing the piano. And I'm not talking about Dream Theater type ridiculousness. I'm talking about something that's like it's a talented person sitting writing their own music. That's what I even loved about Alicia Keys, because when you hear that piano in the background, because you studied at like Juilliard, like
Oh yeah.
she's a piano player.
She knew her stuff.
She is a very educated musician.
Not like Zakk Wylde.
Yeah,
He kind of plays the piano. He knows some chords. He writes on the
he
piano.
botches it up. No,
But he
I'm
didn't,
sure
you
that's the thing with a lot of musicians who write their own music. More than likely, they do play the piano. You know, they just figure it out because
It's a great instrument.
It really is.
I feel you on that. As far as being like pop music,
Mm-hmm.
like pop. I mean, when I say pop, I mean pop, rock, country, popular music, not classically based. Classical music has never gone away. It's never gone away.
No, I couldn't really, off the top of my head, name a country artist that played the piano. I mean, I know there are some.
Yeah,
but no, I feel like the boom, top of my head that's known for piano.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, like when you think Elton John, piano.
Yeah, it's more of a pop R&B thing. A little bit of rock
You
and
think
roll.
of Freddie Mercury, I think piano.
Yeah.
You know, you think of certain people, you think piano.
Axl Rose.
What is
November
his name?
Rain.
Oh God, what is his name? Remember he was on Entertainment Tonight.
John Tesh.
John Tesh.
Yanni. You know who loves some Yanni?
Oh gosh, John Tesh.
The bitter bass man loves some Yanni. John Tesh plays the blues.
You know what I'm waiting for to come back around is the saxophone.
Saxophone.
Because the 80s was littered, like you were tripping over saxophone
There's
players.
going to be. Somebody's going to come back. Yeah. What was his face? Kenny G.
Kenny G.
There's going to be
He
another
played
Kenny
the
G.
piccolo. What is it? The
Soprano, I think. I
soprano
thought it was the...
sax. That looked like it. And the oboe. He
Yeah.
played the oboe too.
Oboes should not be played in popular music.
But it was! Oh my gosh.
It's an orchestral
Yes.
thing there.
I'm ready for that to come back and like the older white guys singing love songs. You know, like the Rod Stewarts and the Meatloafs and the, what's his name?
It could be me.
What's his
You want me to
name?
sing it?
Why can I remember names today? I'm
sing an
so
old-
tired.
An old Rai singing love songs.
Oh gosh. What is his name? The blonde guy that everybody loved who sang love songs in the 80s and 90s.
Sting-a-ling-a-ding-dong.
Well, no, not Sting. Of course Sting, but not him. Anyways.
I don't remember.
He had the raspy voice and he would sing.
Oh, Michael Bolton.
Michael Bolton. Yeah. Like those guys. I'm
Michael
waiting
Bolton.
for that to come back around.
I'll do my best.
Okay.
I'll try to make it happen.
Come on, you guys. Hey, this is our demographic right here. I need some of you to step up. Create some hits, some love songs, some ballads.
I'm going to write a power ballad for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Some Bryan Adams stuff. Bring it out. Let's do this.
Piano, I think guitar will continue to be, it may seem to be having a lull in the overall pop music, but yeah, piano and guitar. They're not going anywhere. Electronic music ain't going to kill them. And they hadn't died after hundreds of years, literally hundreds of years of guitar and piano.
It's not going anywhere.
A couple of decades of electronic music ain't going to kill. Thanks for the question, Just Fine Guitar. Ed Pack with the next question. Thanks, y'all, for another enjoyable show. Now that you found your Zakk guitar, are there any more on your bucket list?
No, he's done. He's done. For a good one. Thank you. Next question. I'm just kidding, babe. You go for it.
You're not kidding. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Look at you throwing scripture
That's
back
the
at me.
Bible.
What?
I need you. Tell me how you really feel.
No.
Don't. Actually, do not do that. Do not do that thing which I just said.
Oh, goodness. I love you.
I know you do. I know. I am thoroughly convinced. I have zero doubts that you love me. Zero doubts.
Good.
Okay.
Oh, goodness. See what you started, Ed.
Thanks, Ed. Thanks, Ed. I was having a good evening. Now I'm going to have an okay evening. The one that's come back, we've answered this many times in the past.
We have.
The thing that is keeps coming up, like bucket list. As I get older, I guess, as you get closer to the bucket, your priorities change. And you're like, you know what? I'm just going to buy this. Screw the kids going to college. They'll figure it out. I figured it out.
They don't have to go.
I paid my own way to college. They can do what they want. But no, the one that I always keep coming back to is like a 75 Les Paul Custom.
Yes.
Like that's...
For sure.
That's the one, preferably one with a maple fretboard. That'd be super rad.
I would say that is on your list in one of those custom carved from, what's his face? You know, has a beautiful Viking carved top.
Oh, yeah.
One of his guitars.
Those are pretty cool.
Hutchinson
Guitar Concepts.
Yes.
Oh.
I have to think of River.
River
Yes.
Hutchinson. We had a student named River Hutchinson. But no, Hutchinson Guitar Concepts in the UK. He takes guitars like ESPs or whatever and strips them completely to the bare wood and then goes and like chisels and carves them.
These gorgeous, like...
He's done some for James Hetfield.
tribal-looking, Viking-esque, gorgeous guitars.
Yeah, he's got Viking ones. He's done, like James Hetfield has a couple.
I know.
You know. I'm not telling you. I'm telling them. Y'all should go check it out.
I ain't new.
Super rad. Yeah, this is cool stuff. Like, we're talking about, I'm going to mod my guitar. I'm going to swap the pickups and put a sticker on it. Maybe buff the finish to make it satin. It's like, no, he strips it and carves it with, you know, like, that's like legit one-of-a-kind stuff. So, I kind of forgot about that too, brought it up. Because I haven't been on Instagram lately that much.
To drool
at all his stuff. Yeah, he's got all these Viking theme things that are cool.
New guitar.
Thanks, Lala. I was excited about my Zakk Wylde, but now I'm thinking about
high aspirations.
higher. Yeah. No, the main one. I was even looking at it. I was like, I don't even know the last time I saw. Like, if you're looking for them, the 75s are hard to find. You got 78s, 76, 74, 73, 77s.
We spent a good hour or more at the Dallas Guitar Show trying to find one.
Yeah, I was trying to find one in person to actually put my hands on and play one. But, you know, I'm right now just scroll through Reverb looking for 70s Les Paul.
No one's going to probably let go of it. That's why.
Probably
because
not.
everybody's like, no, it's a family heirloom. We're not going to.
I don't know. I mean, you find a bunch of... I need to research that.
There were 77, 79, because we tried to find 78.
Yeah, I could find 78s.
Did you find 78s? Okay.
Yeah, but there were a lot of...
I knew that there was like around my birthday.
There were a lot of 76s and 74s.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what it was, 76.
What crap happened to 75?
Did they just, before you're
They just stopped making guitars in 75 gets?
They were too distracted by Star Wars.
I guess. That's 77.
Oh, wait, yeah.
77.
Crap. I'm so off.
Nerd points retracted.
I don't give a crap. You can take them nerd points.
Speaking of nerd points, Chris Mitchell has a Generation X podcast now with a buddy doing toys and Star Wars stuff.
Oh, dear God, Chris.
It's an hour and a half long. He's like, you'll love it. It's super long. I'm like, I don't enjoy the super long videos. The people.
Him and Denny do not enjoy the super long videos.
I don't like it either, Denny. I'm just giving the people what they want. Every time I ask, they're like, yeah, keep the long ones.
Right.
So, yeah, that's a 75 Les Paul Custom. That's probably the one that, I would love. Now, I would probably want to play it first before I buy it. But that might not be an option just because they're so hard to find. You may have to buy one online from a reputable dealer who has incredible feedback, you know. Unless we go to Norm's Rare Guitars in California. They have a buttload of rare guitars. That's where all the rock stars shop. We can go there and they'll make a video of me.
And I can sing. Like, Ryan can play, I can sing. So, like Tracy Chapman.
They're like, we've got Ryan and Angela from R&A Music here at Norm's, and Ryan's shopping for a 75 Les Paul Custom with his amazing wife who's going to sing. And, you know, that would be actually pretty cool. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. Okay.
That's probably the one that's like like that's like like bucket list level stuff. That one's always been the one like bucket list, but it's also like I cannot afford that. It's like $5,000, $4,000 to $5,000.
What can Mama get for $5,000? A trip to Paris. That's what Mama can
$4,000
get
to
for
$5,000. I know I have thousands of
So
dollars.
what you need to do is save up $10,000. Hand me 5. You can take 5. If I can go to Paris, like, or Switzerland, that'd be nice.
Switzerland.
And stay at the Hilton in Zurich, like we did. Like,
I'd rather go to Switzerland than Paris, honestly.
Yeah.
I think. Do I? Are the Alps in Paris?
No.
Are there Alps in France?
But it's
French
just
Alps.
beautiful country in Paris.
We just need to go to Europe. We'll take a little whirlwind tour once the COVID is.
We have plenty of people to stay with.
Yeah.
We're just going to go from house to house, like hopping from
Yeah.
YouTube viewer to...
We're running out of time. This is
Next
running on. We like to talk.
question. That's why we should
75 less
like
podcast.
talking.
That's the main one on the list. And a Washburn dime bag draw guitar.
Okay.
Those are the two. All right, next question. Manly 1979. Ryan, do you think NAMM will ever be as big as it was before? Do you expect a huge return show in January 2022? Or do you think companies will realize they don't actually need to spend that money in trade shows in order to market products any longer? I guess one nice thing about the show being called off next year is you don't have to answer anyone's questions asking if you guys will be going. Are you going to NAMM this year? Cheers from Surf City. I'm originally from Dallas. You guys are a nice touchstone from home.
Oh.
Big Dallas. All right, man.
Yes.
Dallas. Man. There's no place like home.
No.
Right? There's no place like Texas.
None.
Where we got tornadoes and
Ford is the
hurricanes.
best in Texas.
Yeah.
Whataburger. It's just like everything.
Whatever. That's a really great question, man.
I don't think it will.
Manly.
I honestly don't think it will be the same as big as it was before.
Yeah. Well, it either will or it won't. It'll either, they'll have to call off for a year or two, then after that, they'll be like, we haven't been able to go, so now we're all going.
Yeah, let's flood the gates.
I can maybe see that, but then it's an excellent point that a lot of the manufacturers are like, we don't need NAMM in order to sell our gear and promote it. I mean, really, there's already been a trend of manufacturers being like, why are we spending $60, $70, $80, $100, $150, $200,000 to have a booth at NAMM to show off all of our crap to the dealers who are going to buy it anyways?
You know how many people you can employ for that much money?
You know how many Facebook ads you can run for $200,000? And how many people you can reach? Versus, like, we have a booth that's only open to
a very limited
Yeah, it's
amount
not
of
open to the
people.
public. It's only open to dealers.
Right.
Dealers who've been doing business with D'Addario or Fender for 20 years are going to keep doing business with them, probably.
They need a new CFO.
Something. I don't know. It's tough to say. I have a feeling it might be difficult, but it just kind of depends. There's a lot of uncertainty right now. Is anything ever going to go back to the way it was before? Ever?
Yeah. I don't think so.
So that's a great question. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could see it coming back, but maybe not to its epic proportions that it was before.
I think it'll take some time. I don't think
Yeah.
it'll just be a jump start like
Overnight.
straight into it, because there's too many people. Because the reason why is because of COVID. So I think there are too many people overseas, and there's too many people in the States
Right.
that are so fearful of this and the potentiality of bringing it home to their families.
And there was already a problem with NAMthrax.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
it's a joke that if you go to NAMM, you're going to get sick.
Exactly.
Why? Because there's
so many people.
thousands and thousands of
and
people
it
in
closed
this one
the
place
space.
from all over the world.
Yeah. They'd have to reconfigure it so much that you wouldn't be able to, it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be as loud. It might be better, but it wouldn't be as loud. It wouldn't be as compact. It wouldn't be the same. So I think it would take a long time for people to get their comfort to a place where they feel good about going to something like that.
Yeah.
It's like going to, but if the NBA and everybody is going back to same old,
Well, yeah.
And that proves to not spike things in people's minds and all that kind of stuff, then maybe.
It's a coin toss.
We have I don't know, is the NFL doing anything? I don't pay attention, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are we having football this year? I mean,
Probably
high schools
so.
are doing football.
High schools are playing. You ain't going to stop playing high school football.
Not in Texas.
We're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
We're going to play with a gas mask on or something.
Something.
We're going to do flag football. We're going to do flag football this season.
No contact. No,
contact.
We ain't going to say, there'll still be contact in Texas.
Yeah. They'll sign a waiver. I'll sign a waiver.
Mm-hmm.
They already signed waivers. If your kid dies playing football in Texas, they signed a waiver.
Mm-hmm.
A kid died of a heating stroke the other day.
Yeah, like the beginning of the football training.
In football warm-ups, trainings.
Mm-hmm.
That was heartbreaking because I was like, well, yeah, it's 1,000 degrees outside. You guys are out running around with helmets and pads
At the end
on.
of July, beginning of August in Texas.
Making kids run up and down football fields when it's 105 degrees outside.
That's crazy.
The kid died of a heat stroke and you were shocked.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Really dumb.
Really stupid. That ain't worth it.
Mm-mm.
It ain't worth it.
So, with that kind of thought, when you come to a building with people from all over the world now, I don't think a lot of people are going to risk it. So, no, I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be the same.
Great question, man.
Cheers
Lee,
from Surf City.
Manly, 1979. Thanks, dude.
Good year.
Glad we could bring a taste of Texas to your life. All right, final question. Thank
Yay!
the Lord. Fat philosopher. Hey, Ryan and Angela.
Hi.
Rank in importance when choosing a guitar neck. Fret size, radius, scale length, neck thickness. What concerns you the most and which items don't really concern you? Ooh, great question, man. Rank in importance. Okay, most important to me would be neck thickness.
Okay.
So how chunky, monkey that neck is. So yeah, the neck thickness for me is probably number one, followed closely by, what are my choices? Scale length. Scale length. So I
can see that.
like a 24.58. It's 24 and 3/4, the Gibson scale, but it's not really 24 and 3/4. That's just what they call it. It's really 2, 4, 5, 8, whatever. 9 3/4. I like the slightly shorter, not the 25.5. Like a Fender scale length, 25.5 inches. I have a guitar that is 25.5. I own a guitar that is 25. A guitar that is 25.5. I can play it. I do play it. But I feel the most comfortable on a 24 and 3/4.
Okay.
I have some PRS S2 SEs that are 25.
Mm-hmm.
Those are fine. I don't notice a big difference between the 25 scale length and the 24 and 3/4.
Okay.
But from 24 3/4 to 25.5 is a noticeable difference to me. I prefer the 24 and 3/4. That's just what I like the most. It's not that I can't play the others. I can play the others. I do play the others. But I kind of prefer the 24 and 3/4. So that would be next. After that would probably be... man, I don't really...
Fret or radius? That's your next choice.
I never think about the radius.
Okay.
I never, I could give a crap about the radius. Most of my guitars are, Les Paul kind of necks, and some, which I think is like a 12, is it? I don't even know. It's like a 12-inch radius, or, 8 to 10, 10 to 12, 10 to 14-inch radius. Whatever is typical for a Gibson style neck. Like my Gibson Explorer from 91, which I played the crap out of. That's the guitar that feels like home to me. Every time I play it. So I really don't care about radius. Mm-hmm. That's like the least important thing to me. Because I've had some Fenders that had the, like a 7-inch radius or 8-inch radius. I don't really care about that. Fret size, I don't care a whole lot about, because I have some guitars that have the extra jumbo, really thick frets, and then my Gibson Explorer does not have jumbo sized frets.
Right.
It just sort of doesn't bother me. I can play them all. It's not a hit or miss or oh, I love this one because it's got the super extra jumbos. I'm like, I don't really care. Mm-hmm. I can play them all.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter. It's probably tied for last place because I have a couple of guitars. Most of my guitars are 22 frets, and I have a couple with 24.
Right.
I played 22 for the longest time because that's what my first guitars were. That's just what I got used to.
Mm-hmm.
And it tends to be hard, though, to find a 24 3/4 scale length with 24 frets.
Mm-hmm.
So, typically, you find 24 frets on the longer scale lengths. But one of my, or two of my Schecters are 24 3/4 with 24 frets. And of course, my PRS is 25-inch scale length, and it's got one of them has 24 frets. And I do actually now, in my later years,
Right.
or my mid years, I do kind of appreciate the 24 fret guitars, even if I don't go up that far. If I'm doing stuff on the 22nd fret, I like having that extra space.
Right.
You know, but that's, I could take it or leave it. You know, I need at least 22. I don't like 21 frets like Fender stuff. So I prefer 22. 24 doesn't bother me, but it's not a make or break. The main things for me is thickness and scale length.
Right.
Those are the two number one factors for me on a guitar neck, whether I like it or don't like it.
Right.
But I think some people make too much out of some of that stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, of course, I'm a drummer as well. Drumsticks. I think necks are weird. You know how many different profiles of drumsticks there are?
Oh, dear God.
Oh, sweet Jesus. This is like, you know, and lengths. Is this 16 3/4 or 15 3/16? 15 3/16? You know, all these different lengths of sticks. Diameter, taper, the bead. There's all these. Granted, it's easier to make a trillion different kinds of drumsticks than it is guitar necks. But I've used all different kinds. I can play the drums with all of them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I love how passionate you are about this. It's
Well, I don't
cracking me
know.
up.
This one got me all excited, I guess.
I know.
I'm all fired up, ready to go.
Like,
People are like, I can only use this stick. I'm like, well, you suck, don't you?
weird.
What?
It's what people say.
I can only play the key of G.
I can only sing standing up. I was like, well, tell that to every single piano player.
Tell that to Elton John.
Had an album that has phenomenal voice. Tell that to Alicia Keys.
Yeah. They're like, I can only play the key of G. I'm like, what are you, a moron?
You just suck.
What do you mean you can't play in this key? You play the piano, right? Yeah, but I can't play this. How do you?
All right.
You know what grinds my gears?
We're getting off subject.
You know what grinds my gears?
We gotta go. It's late.
There's nothing wrong
No
with...
more grinding gears. That's another video.
There's nothing wrong with liking what you like, and you have a specific thing that you are drawn to, and that's sort of your favorite. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm not neck radius shaming anyone. Play what you like.
Right.
But you ought to be able to play whatever they put in your hands. What if you're somewhere like, hey, can you play this guitar? Oh, no, what's the fretboard radius? Oh, I can only play a 14-inch fretboard radius. I'm sorry, I can't play that. Like, how ridiculous is that? What size frets are those? Oh, small frets. Oh, I can't play it. I'm sorry. Like, how ridiculous is that? But, you know, whatever. It's fine. You like what you like. That's great. I like having choices.
I know you do.
Not with my food.
No.
Or with my TV shows or my music. But with my instruments, I like choices.
You're cracking me up.
All right. And that's it for today. What are you guys and girls? I think Blackjack still watches. She hasn't commented in a long time.
We
But
miss you, lady.
maybe Blackjack is still here. I
Are
don't
you
know.
doing okay?
If-
Are you faring?
If she's still here, there's at least one lady who watches videos.
Mm-hmm.
Angela doesn't watch them.
The wives.
But there's
I
one.
lived it.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
going to watch it.
Yeah, Barb. There's some wives in here watching. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You guys and gals, what is your primary thing on a guitar neck? What is the make or break?
Or do you even care?
Do you even care?
There you go.
Is there a certain spec on a neck that's a deal breaker for you? Tell us. You know what I think? Now,
The world knows.
the world wants to know. Fat Philosopher wants to know
That's one thing the world
what you
will
guys
know.
think. What is your importance things on guitar necks? All right, and that is the last final question. Thank you, Lord. And it's time to wrap this up. All right, if you watch this whole thing, which is to Denny's disappointment, very long, and mine, because I've got to edit it. It's going to take me 4 hours to edit this video. If you watch this whole thing, secret hashtag of the day, only for you guys who watch to the end, and type that hashtag below with your question or your comment that you have for next week's video, and we'll know you watched the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any ideas?
Not really.
Secret hashtag of the day is Secret hashtag of the day is hashtag supervillains,
Nice.
which is what all the rock guitar players are. They're all supervillains, except for Zakk Wylde and John Percussion.
Yes.
And James Hetfield, who's the ultimate hero.
Yeah!
Ultimate guitar.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever.
Sure.
James agrees with me.
Yeah!
So type that with your question for next week below, and we'll try to answer that. And we'll also know that you guys watched this whole stinking video. Some of y'all watched it last week to the secret ending. There may or may not be secret endings in future videos. You just got to watch and find out. Maybe you'll be happy. Maybe you'll be like, dang it, no super secret ending.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to watch the whole thing. All right, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. Until the next video, keep the music alive.
Don't forget it.
Music needs you.
You need the music.
We need to keep it alive for the next generation of heroes
Yes. And villains.
and villains that are coming up after us, hopefully.
Mhm.
Hopefully, we're all here.
Yes.
All right, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
You know what I learned today?
What? Oh, I know.
You taught
Yes.
it to me. You taught me something today.
Yes, because I figured this out like, I don't know, a while ago, because Aiden watches the TV show Psych.
Psych. You guys watch Psych?
Yes.
We watch Psych. I have not in a long time, but
Yeah,
we
with
watched it
James
today.
Rode and Dule Hill. Yeah.
Sure.
So it's a detective show where a guy has hyper observant
Brutal
skills.
hustler. Burton Guster.
And this is one of our favorite shows to quote. It is hilarious. If you've never watched it, it is on Amazon Prime. It is a part of the Prime package, and you can watch it. It also comes on, oh gosh, I can't think of the actual channel. I want to say Hulu, but it's not. What is it, that channel that sounds like that? Anyways, so I was sitting there
USA.
Yes, it comes on USA. I was watching it and I thought, this is basically Sherlock Holmes. And I was like, Sean, the character Sean, is Sherlock. I mean, a goofy, dorky Sherlock, but hyper observant, you know, just like this person who uses his keen observation skills to solve crimes.
He pretends to be a psychic, but he's really using just super observation.
You know, Sherlock Holmes isn't pretending to be a psychic,
No.
but it is what if Sherlock Holmes was just this regular guy who was just super observant.
Suck it, you suck it. Suck it!
And his friend, Watson, is Gus, Burton Guster, Dule Hill's character. And then you have Lassie, or Lassiter, Carlton Lassiter, who is basically
Lestrade.
So you have Carlton Lassiter as Lestrade,
Mm-hmm.
and his dad, who is a family member, because they have the family member aspect for Sherlock with his brother Mycroft. And so you have his dad.
Sean's dad.
Who's a
is
retired basically
policeman
Mycroft Holmes.
who is,
Yeah.
what do I always forget his name? The actor.
Yeah. From LA Law.
LA Law.
Today is not a good day for me to remember names, which is really crazy because I remember everybody's name.
I was thinking about it earlier because you
yes.
were watching it. She was watching it in her lesson room.
Yes. And so I had this like, oh my gosh.
Corbin Bernstein.
Yes. It's like.
Corbin Dallas.
So it's basically Sherlock Holmes. And I thought, well, basically almost every show that you have this heightened skilled person and a sidekick is basically based off
Yeah,
of
like what's that one you've been watching about the guy who's
The Mentalist.
the mentalist? Yeah,
Mhm.
same thing.
Yeah, pretty much. He's a Sherlock Holmes type character. Yeah, almost every single crime solving duo.
So if you enjoy Psych, which we do, you're basically just watching a modern day Sherlock Holmes.
Yes,
With
a
more
goofy,
comedy.
dorky Sherlock Holmes
It's hilarious.
with 80s references.
You definitely blew my brain. You're like, guess what? This is Sherlock Holmes. Here's why. And I'm like, I have to go teach a guitar lesson. Why are you telling me this right now?
And then he brought his student who
I was
showed
like,
up.
hey, come here.
Mason. He's like,
Mason.
Mason. And Mason's like, okay.
Mason, you ever watch Psych? And he's like, No.
No.
I'm like, your life is incomplete, son. You need to go home tonight and watch some Psych.
Yes, because it's hilarious. It is
If you want to
fun.
laugh before...
So basically, you're watching Sherlock Holmes, but it's hilarious, and you should watch it.
If you haven't watched it, you should go watch it right now.
You really should. And don't think anything about anything. Just enjoy what they're saying and laugh. Do yourself a favor and laugh.
We need to laugh.
Okay.
All right. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Super secret post-credit scene.
We did it.
Not eating Klondike bars.
Nope. Gotta be there.